Hi, check out this awesome arm toy thing. Every kid's dream, an arm. A big bastard robot arm. Yes, please sign me up. I need a spare hand for when mine are occupied elsewhere. This thing was released in 1984. How many of you lot had one? And look at these kids on the box, they're amazing. Look at this lad, absolute scientist, concentrating so hard. And his assistant is wearing a little bow tie. Oh my god, that's adorable. There's some serious science going on here, you guys. I want to get involved. Here's some pictures on the box showing off what this robot arm can do. It can pick up a chess piece. It can pick up test tubes. It can pick up pencils. I'm seeing a theme here. And it can pick up the world's tiniest milk jug. What is the point of that? If you're having such a tiny amount of milk in your coffee, you may as well not have it at all. Who are these people who have tiny milk jugs? I bet they're serial killers. Yes, the mighty Radio Shack Armatron was made by Tomy and then distributed by Radio Shack. Here's an advert where Armatron pops up, showing off Radio Shack's frankly awesome toys in 1984. All sorts of hench gubbins. It is kicking off here. Alright, let's get this thing out and have a look. This is quintessential 80s. Everything about the design screams it. I have to say, it really does feel well made, which is more than could be said for me, and I'm younger than this thing. It's aging a lot better too, to be fair. Only a little discoloration on the stickers, but otherwise, this is some good gubbins. Even the claw bit doesn't feel flimsy. And as this thing takes 2D batteries, which by the way are batteries the size of a small car, it feels really heavy and solid, and firm and resolute. These rubber wires here are for decoration only, and you can see that they've started to react with the polystyrene packaging. That's not unusual with toys of this age. The sticker on the joysticks here shows you which directions will make the arm move which way, and my brain is overwhelmed by that information all at once. Like, I keep staring at it while I'm trying to use it, and all I can see in my brain is the shore coming in and out. The instructions go into a bit more detail with pictures and everything. This thing has got a lot of movement freedom. I'm pretty sure I can't even do half the stuff with my actual human arm. Alright, let's turn this thing on. Oh wow, that is loud. I don't know if it's supposed to be that loud. It's running on a DC motor, but aside from that, there's no electronic components in the arm itself. The whole thing moves about by a complex system of gears, which is really awesome. I'm not going to take it apart and have a look as much as I really want to, because usually when I try and fix something that I've taken apart, it spontaneously combusts. You can see from the patent application documents that inside the Armatron it is all kicking off. It's impressively complex, made up of a whole bunch of plastic gears hooked up to a single DC motor. My mind bends just trying to work this out. I really kind of want to open it up and look at it, but even though I found it years ago for very cheap, it does go for a decent amount on eBay now, and I don't think any of you would forgive me if I ruin this thing with my crappy DIY skills. I want to see inside. I've linked in the description a little website that has photos of the innards though, and there's also the patent pictures on there too, so do go and have a look at that. This strip here saying energy level isn't energy level at all. It's a timer counting down for when two people play a game with it, and I'll explain that shortly. For now, let's just see how this thing can move. The claws open and close, the wrist has full 360-degree rotation, the elbow can bend either way, and the shoulder part can move up and down, plus do a full 360 spin. Look at that poetry in motion. Also, the wrist can move up and down, and you absolutely can make it do multiple movements at once. It's really quite nifty. Now, to open and close the claws, you twist the left joystick, and then to spin the wrist, twist the right one, which makes me feel a bit like I'm twisting an especially cold person's nipples. Why is that where my brain went? But you can, for example, twist the wrist while also opening the claw and moving the arm up and down, and left and right. Although the movement is slow and definite, it is actually surprisingly smooth and it is fun to muck about with. Now, the game you're meant to play with this thing, and a hopefully willing friend, is to do with these things that it came with. 2 balls, 2 sort of Devo hats, and 2 cylinders, of which I only have 1. There's also a little plastic box with a lid and a flat plastic platform, which is somewhere at the bottom of my cupboard, and I can't be bothered to find it. With the timer counting down, you're meant to compete at picking up these things and putting them on each other or in each other before the time runs out. And that is way harder than it sounds. Even though the timer is quite generous and gives you 8 minutes, you're gonna need that time. I really, really suck at using the Armatron. My brain just doesn't want to retain the information regarding which joystick direction does what. Picking up a ball is utter balls. It's not the Armatron's fault, I'm just useless. It is challenging though. I do feel like I'm playing one of those scammy crane games at a seaside town. Only this is quite a bit more frustrating. I spent ages trying to get the hang of this thing and started approaching being able to pick up things quickly. There is rubber on the inside of the claw, and that means it can pick up kind of anything so long as it's not too heavy. It can't pick up this mug, for example. Really does try though. I'm going to stop doing that though because I think I'm going to break it. I'm so embarrassingly bad at manoeuvring this thing where I want it to go. I think I need my robot arms to be much simpler. Just give me one that feeds me chocolate when I'm lying in bed depressed, and you know what, that's enough for me. I don't need it to have more points of rotation than a shopper frantically trying to escape the middle aisle in Lidl. But that's kind of it. I don't really have much else to say. There's not much more to this toy really, although it's technically impressive. It's not like it can do very much. The box says, "The whole family will enjoy hours of creative fun with Armatron." I obviously have zero imagination then, because I'm struggling to see what creative fun I can have with something that literally just picks something else up and puts it down again. It also says you can manipulate Armatron to execute hazardous scientific experiments, which is, of course, what a proper robot arm would be used for in a laboratory. But now I'm wondering if I can use this thing to handle toxic things like the comments on my videos from incels. Can it write this script for me? No. It can pick up really precise little things, and lots of things at once, like multiple Cheerios, with impressive accuracy, but it's nowhere near as fast at stashing them as Detective Trifles is. But then again, nothing is. Look at the state of this rat. I'm going to try and write with it. Okay, that's a no then. Couldn't even draw a penis. It's probably good for eating Wotsits without getting dust on your hands. But it's not able to do the main thing that I'd want from a robot arm, and that's sit in the window and flip rude gestures at random passers-by. So, I'm out. There were different looking Armatrons released, like the Super Armatron and the Armatron 2, plus, oddly, one called a Desktop 144. But they don't appear to be different aside from using different colours and slightly changed up sticker designs. There was, however, a mobile Armatron, and this thing looks hilarious. It's a robot with a massive, massive arm. Just one hilariously out of proportion arm. A control was attached to the body by a cable, and the robot could be moved with it as well as his arm. Now that is pretty sweet. An Armatron that can actually move around on wheels, that's awesome. You could drive it around and pinch people that piss you off. Someone needs to tell these kids on the box how awesome it is though. Neither of them give a shit. Why does this girl look like she's in a meeting that should have been an email? That's the Armatron then. Some pretty cool gubbins if you're a fan of picking up small objects and putting them down again. Even though it's a bit of a limited toy on the surface, yeah, I would have loved this as a kid. And even as an adult, I did have a laugh playing with it. As a kid, I would probably have used it as a final boss battle for my other toys to defeat or something. And I totally didn't pretend to capture and torture my arch nemesis from the Thomas the Tank Engine Commodore 64 game with it. No, not at all. I'm an adult, alright? I don't have fantasies about smashing up his friggin' face. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it tingled some of those nostalgic feels for you, or made at least some of you instantly bundle over to eBay to see if you can get hold of your own. It's absolutely prime 80s toy action, and I'm surprised I'd never even heard of it before. If you liked the video, please subscribe and all of that nonsense. I do have more gubbins like this to make videos about, and I will be subjecting you to them. I tried to wave bye-bye with this thing, but it just looks like it's wanking, sorry.